What is happening out there? I am freezing in the barn today. If you could not tell, we got a bunch of snow last night. It's pretty awesome, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about internships and the value of doing an internship for your career. So if you are out there and you're thinking about being an intern, you are an intern, should you take an internship and not get paid? All that good stuff. We're going to hit all that stuff today. My guests on the podcast this week are Lucas Sachs and Paul Bacher, director of booking for the Brooklyn Bowl in Williamsburg and Philadelphia, as well as Paul, who is the talent buyer for the Brooklyn Bowl Williamsburg. So two great guys, great interview today. And we break down in this short little clip from the interview, again, all the stuff about interning that you would want to know. If you've not been an intern somewhere and you're looking to build your career, these are the guys to get some advice from. They've both, between them, done several internships along the way. And now I would say between the two of them and what they do, they've probably got 25, 30, maybe 40 years of experience together. That sounds like a lot because they're not that old. They're not as old as I am. I can tell you that. Anyway, they've got a lot of experience and they started from the ground up, from the bottom, working themselves up to really get to know the industry. And I was an intern for a long time as an editor. I was an intern when I was acting. I've done it. There's value in it, and I recommend that you really contemplate doing it if you are looking to break into a career, no matter what it is, and working for free is a great way to do it because it allows you to really show your passion for what it is that you want to do and show the people around you that you are reliable, you are passionate, and, in the future, you may be someone that they want to call on and offer a job to. So interning is a great way to get started. If you want to listen to this full interview with these guys, there is a link in the description below. It will take you to wherever you get your podcasts. And it's a good episode, so I would check it out. Of course, these guys, like I said, work for the Brooklyn Bowl franchise, the Brooklyn Bowl franchise. And if you've never been to a Brooklyn Bowl to check out a show or go bowling or have dinner, I suggest you do so because all three of those things at the Brooklyn Bowl are very, very good fun. So you're going to want to do that. Anyway, this is the last live interview that I'll be doing for 2022. This one right here, if you check it out, this is the last one. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and subscribing to this channel, subscribing to the podcast. It really means a lot. I want to wish you happy holidays no matter what you celebrate. So get out there, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. And we got a lot more good stuff coming up in 2023. I'm really going to try to dedicate more time to this channel and putting out some good content for you guys. So thank you so much for everything. Here we go with Paul Bacher and Lucas Sachs.
Call yourself a roadie.
I know you guys are busy. I don't want to keep you too much longer, man. I just wanted to hit one more important thing, I think, for folks, younger folks out there that are coming up. And that is that you, Paul, I know you did. Lucas, you'd spent some time doing an internship, right?
I had 7 of them.
You had 7 of them. Right. Okay. So let's just talk about the importance of doing an internship, an unpaid internship. It sounds like also from this whole conversation, you guys were pretty methodical and humble in your approach to like, I want to get up here, but I can't just jump from here up there. I got to start in these little steps. Paul, you talked about that, right? Just inching your way up and learning so that you would be ready by the time you got there. I interned as a film editor when I lived in LA for a long time, right? And I think some of that, and this has come up a lot in the shows as I talk to crew members and whatnot, they get a lot of people asking, how can they just jump in? Or you get, audio engineer people like, I've been doing it in my home on fucking Logic. I know what I'm doing. I can handle X, Y, and Z. And skip the process of learning from somebody and paying your dues. So I'd love to close out, if we could, with just the talk of paying your dues and why that's important and why it's important maybe sometimes to not make any money doing that.
Right. Yeah, I'm reminded of the GM of one of the first clubs I worked at. Had told me, he's like, you can't be a GM of this place if you don't know how to be a busboy and you don't know, the ins and outs of that job, and you can't explain to someone how to do that job, better than they can, or you're a master of it. People don't really respect you unless you've been there and kind of the ins and outs of that job. And so it's hard to, come in and assume a position of responsibility and be overseeing people and directing strategy when you haven't, been in the trenches on the lower levels. And so, even though it's more time consuming and not that glamorous, like it does build a stronger foundation so that when you run into problems on those higher levels, you can refer back to that experience and you're not just caught trying to fake it until you make it and, say some, fluff, whatever, to try to gloss over an issue. You can really, speak from experience. So that's probably the most part of it, mostly for just self-confidence. There's so many mistakes that I've made on lower levels that have kind of cautioned me against doing similar things now that I'm in more of a bigger and arena with more eyes on me. And so, I can look at patterns and be reminded of examples in the past where I might have, leaned toward a certain decision that ended up being incorrect. And I can, it's kind of like touching a hot stove. Like you're just reminded that like, that's not the way that you're supposed to do it. And if you make a glaring mistake on this level, like it can have serious repercussions. If a band has a bad experience at your venue and you're not no longer in contention for, that band, potentially that manager, and potentially that agent. So, it's really important that you're, super capable and confident in being able to handle yourself once you get, to higher and higher levels. And I think that experience only comes from like doing it where there's less blowback. Like when I'm working for a club that's only doing local bands, even if you get the advance time wrong and they show up at the wrong time, they miss their sound check. Like that's a bummer, but that's probably like the fourth show that band has played this week. And, they're used to like kind of dealing with some sloppy operations along the way. And like, as you get higher and higher, that gets tightened up. And then there's higher expectations as well. And, there's different opportunities now than when even 5 years ago, whether it's, managing social media for a band or, creating your own website or, maybe remotely helping a venue do marketing. Like if I were to attack it today, I'd probably just have much more digital experience than I, possess at the moment. And, I feel like there's ways to not necessarily need to be on site at the club all the time, but you could still be involved in getting to understand like how tickets go on sale and how to build ticket links and how to manage social media and how to create artwork for a venue. Without needing to actually show up there with your resume the way I did it. But, any kind of hustling strategy and demonstrating that, all you really want is experience and that you're smart and that you're, hungry for it will usually be met with like a positive reception. Even if there's not any opportunities at the moment, they'll usually, be okay with you checking back in every 3 months. And then you might not have an opportunity, but, another club that, does, and you'll get referred. And building that network of emails and just checking in every few months will usually lead to positive results.
Yeah, that's one of the most important things. We regularly talk to high school and college students going into music business programs or currently in them or about to graduate. We've built up our networks over the years. Like I said, we've got friends, I have friends from the college program I was in that all work in music as well. So I can call them and say, this younger person is looking for an opportunity. I think that they would be great. Can you help them out? And circulating a resume, that's what people did for us, when we were coming up. And it's very low lift. It's almost zero effort to take 20 minutes to talk to someone and give them a little piece of what you understand. And, if you feel like they have some potential, just passing their info along to someone like it's a gate that's open that they don't even know where to find that gate. So, there's a lot of pay it forward mentality that I think was really important for, us coming into this and now paying it forward to continue to pass that down. I also think like being a sponge, like Paul was saying, some of this stuff you can be taught. A lot of it you have to experience because, you can be taught this is how this usually goes. But then there's 1,000 different ways it actually plays out. And it could be vibe, it could be nuance, it could be whatever situation it is. So being a sponge while also maintaining this network, it doesn't matter if you're in college or in high school, you didn't go to either of those things. whatever it is you're doing, this is a scrappy industry. People come in it from all different approaches and different ways. It doesn't really matter how you get in it, but it matters how you act in it, who you know, and, people will be more willing to help you if you're reputable, you're honest, you're professional, you have your shit together. That goes a long way. Compared to some, like, if you burn a bridge with one person, they're going to tell all their people not to work with you. So it's some combination of all these things that kind of perpetuates getting really awesome people advanced through the industry.
And timing is everything. Like, things move really fast. Someone might forward you a resume and, hey, do you know anyone? This is a marketing coordinator. Like, let us know if you know anything. And you have nothing available at the moment, so you just move on. You don't remember anything. But if they keep checking in every 3 months, maybe 3 months later, something has opened at a club nearby, and you're just able to, you see that one come in, and it's just a quick forward to the GM of that venue. I didn't even do anything. I just said, hey, if you're looking for someone, I know this person and our marketing coordinator. Like, so making sure to, like, keep things warm and stay on people's radar. Don't just send a resume and hope for the best. Like, you gotta just constantly check in, because opportunities open up, and people will a lot of times just like whatever's easiest. Like, oh, I got this resume last week, like, interview this person. Or like, that like when you're starting to interview for a job, the first thing is like, all right, do we have any resumes on file? Anything that people have referred to us before you start, blasting out on LinkedIn and stuff. So making sure to, keep that warm.
So there you go. If you're thinking about doing an internship in 2023, sign up, do it. Thank you so much. If you got something out of this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more stuff in the future, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Perhaps hit that bell to get notified. I got lots of links in the description below so you can check out some of my gear and all that good stuff. Subscribe to the podcast. Remember, no roadies, no rock and roll. And I'll see you in the next one.